All right. Good morning, everybody. So here we are, the end of the week, the village for these boats. So I haven't done any real work yet. I just brought all the ships that we've done this week into the Blender file so we could A, see their scale, and B, see what their poly count is so we knew what we kind of had to work with because these were kind of all made to be hero objects, not background objects. So they might be a bit heavy, and we can decimate them later if we need to. But this is what we've got. And I ran a poll over on Mastodon over where the environment should be, whether it would be like a fishing village on the shore or an oil rig style thing or on a cliff. And on a cliff was winning dramatically last night, and then it kind of tied with oil rig by the time I woke up this morning. But either way, looks like we're doing something more industrial and built up and less sort of what I put it was Moss Isley on a riverbed or on the shore. So let's start with making us a cliff. I think that getting our scale right for this one's going to be important, both for making it look right and again for making sure we have the polys to deal with this thing. And I think we're going to plan on looking at it from back a ways, probably about like at least that far back. And then we'll put a boat or something in the foreground for scale. But we're not going to be doing a up close each apartment kind of vibe for this thing, which is going to be important again for time and polys. So let's start by making a cliff. And we're just going to use ant landscape, I think. And let's see. That's just a mountain. Let's just see what we get. I don't want to subdivide it any more than that. I think that's fine for this. Let's go. And I think we will start with the mountain. We could start with just a cliff option. Yeah, let's look at the cliff. Let's see. The mountain has a bit more curvature around it, which I kind of like. Let's do the mountain. We don't care about the top or the bottom. Let's just do the mountain. But let's pick a different. Yeah, I don't know what I'm looking for, so I don't want to get it right. But one more. Yeah, too flat. Yeah, still too flat. Let's try it again. Let's keep going. I'm just gonna make random terrains. That looks good. There we go. We got a cliff thing, and we're gonna cut it along that side anyway. So let's create a new cube. Cube, scale it up, and we're gonna cut to like here. So this would be what our terrain will look like, because we're not gonna go past the edge of this, I don't think. That's my plan anyway. So get our landscape down and come here and apply it. Okay. So now we have something like that. I think I'm gonna make it a bit more vertical. So we'll just compress the y-axis to bring it in. Looking cliffy. And then Control A, rotation scale. Let's make it, obviously it needs to be a lot bigger. Let's try 200 times. Feels pretty good. So that's going to be our, we'll go ahead and say, this is going to be the basis of our cliff. We're on the G, Y, we'll bring it back in. Cool. And let's go ahead and start saving our file. So just in case, because this one could get heavy. We want to make sure we have something. Not Tatooine buildings. There's a Chuck CG has these cool free Tatooine buildings. I was just taking a look at them to see if we could use them, but I don't think we're going to. 230609-1 Fishing Village. Oh, we'll call it live stream too. Live stream Fishing Village. 230609-1 live stream Fishing Village. Alrighty. So, couple ways to go about this. I think the first thing we could do would be make us some very low poly buildings, or we could lay out the basis of this thing. And I think that's what we're gonna do. We'll figure out how we're gonna. I think we're gonna build it on tiers going up. So let's see if we can do that. And it looks like how big is? I just want to see. It's 2 Shift A mesh cube. So one of those squares is a bit bigger than a human. So let's put some water into Shift A mesh plane or cube scale. Sure. And then 7 scale Shift Z and then G and then bring it down. So our water level is going to be here, and that's actually going to be the depth. So we're going to use this actually. You can go higher, but no, I think we'll use this is the depth. So let's bring this bottom end up to just below that. So we can then come here, edit this, solo it, 2, select that edge, 7E. Did I not just get that edge? Guess not. Just this edge, not that edge. That edge, 7E, GY, GY, yes, okay, cool. So that's going to be our, we can extend it further if we need to, but that's our ocean floor and our water, and then up from here, which may mean I want to make this, well, now we'll keep it small. I was going to say we might need more levels, but I think this will be okay. Why is that one a weird color? Strange. Okay, so I want to make it go across, and what we see, if I just select, piss off, thank you, that, it does kind of go to the ground a little bit, and I don't really like that. So what I want to do is I'm going to come here and here. It doesn't really matter where. Turn on proportional editing, and let's just solo this object, and then GZ, and make it much bigger. What I'm trying to do is just bring it up more. So now if I go across, you get a more flat until the end, and we probably won't go quite that far, but I think that's better. We can do a little bit more. GZ, just G, G. Just kind of want to make it line up more with our water plane. So it's just going horizontally across. The cliff would have done better for that. That was my question for whether that was a better way to go. But I do like this, I think. Okay. So now, can I select? Why is it on yellow? Is there some weirdness? That one cube got weird. Let's just AM right distance. How do we have duplicated? I don't know how we did duplicated vertices, but okay. So I'm going to select some edge loops. I'm thinking every other, maybe every third. Give ourselves a bit more room. 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3. Maybe one more. 1, 2, 3. So those are going to be the tiers, I think, of our village. Now let's see. Let's Shift D, P, select those things. Now, I don't want this. Yeah, I want these. A, E, G, Y, O, E, E, G, EY3. But I think I want to redo it just because I think I've just created a whole bunch of bad vertices. Okay, tab A, and let's just distance none. Okay, good. EY4. Did I go the wrong way or the right way? Let's see. I went the wrong way. Let's undo. Back to merge by distance. Okay. EY -4. Okay. That I think gives us what we're looking for. Okay. Yeah. We have nice. Let's exit. I want to see what happens if we apply a smooth modifier. And it's bringing them in, which I don't like, but is it smoothing them? Can I not smooth on the y-axis? Yes. I just want to smooth on the z-axis. And oh yeah, beautiful. Because they don't need to follow the vertices of the mountain. I just wanted something to start from. So now we've smoothed them down a lot. Even more. I mean, we could just send straight lines across, but I like having them have, let's see. Yeah, that should be good. I don't want it to be, yeah. Okay. And they're still relatively following. Woo! That's some crazy shit there. Was it 0.5 initially? Yeah. And if we go higher, that seems about right. Okay, but I don't want it to go all the way to the edge either. So I think, but I mean, it was a good place to start from. So I'm glad we did it, but we have those. Let's apply that. Shift A, mesh, cube, S50. We're gonna have it go to like there. Control minus. And apply. Now again, take this over here and do the same thing on that side to like there. So there's, as of right now, the tiers for our village. Feel okay about that? I think so. How long have we been going for? 14 minutes. Yeah, okay. So now we have something we can use as a starting point. Let's contact through to here and A, E, G, Z. Can I do it? Is it gonna give it? Yes, okay, cool. So we're creating bumps. I like that. Let's solo. And I think I want to make it go into the mountain a little bit because I'm going to use these as a starting point for, piss off, for a particle system or a scatter system, and I want it to be able to go inside the mountain too. So we have buildings that are kind of half in the mountain, half not in the mountain. Did that work? Whoa. No. That's why. Okay, fine. Shift G, coplanar, normal. There we go. I don't know why those are different, but fine. Doesn't really matter. And that's all we got on that side, and nothing's on that side. Yes. So now if we E, cool. All right. Save. So now, now I think it is time to actually start making some very low poly buildings that we can put in here, and then we'll start making it make more sense after that. I'm gonna turn off our landscape just so we can see. And yeah, it's cool. So Shift A, mesh, cylinder. So it's a 2-meter cylinder. Let's make it S3, 6 meters. So that's kind of that's a 6-meter cylinder. So that's a cool size for a Star Wars building, I think. GZ3, just so, there we go. Now it's origins at the bottom, in the middle. Now let's just do some very basic adjustments to it. Control R, Control B, normals. And let's see. That could be a very simple building. And I mean, I don't think it's going to look that bad even. Let's try. Let's check and see. Let's come to our textured. I'm just thinking, and I probably should turn off the boats. Let's turn off the boats for right now. Now let's go here and give this guy that classic sci-fi standard. I mean, yeah, see? That kind of has that building vibe to it. And I think we're going to try, we'll use one I don't use. I actually don't know that I've ever really used this on its own. We'll use the window or the light one from that. Starships, big, medium, small. Lights and windows. What's that? What's the difference? Yes, all preferences is fine. Small, large, non-alpha. Yeah, we'll go with non-alpha to right now. Plus, new, 3, assign. Oh, I didn't want the top one assigned. Fine. 3 plus assign. There we go. We got a building with lights, and I think that will work pretty well for us as a start point, and it's very low poly, which from back here is going to be fine. We just need to make a couple more and some variations on it, I think. So let's put it in its own collection. Turn off caps locks, buildings, and solo it. We're in buildings. Let's dupe it. Shift D, G, X. And actually, let's not do that yet. No, let's do it. I can dupe it, tab, edit, G, X. Now its center is still where it should be. Okay. And I'm going to just make some changes to it slightly. So let's take our top, I, E, bevel, and E, cool, and control bevel just a bit, Alt E, so faces along normals, give it that, and I mean, we can give it a railing. It starts again. I'm trying to be very aware of polygons, but let's see what happens if we just do. And how high up do we move it? We got to keep track of scale because it gets very easy to mess this up. Scale, we're in real life scale, so 1.3. Or, yeah, 1.3 sounds good for a railing. And we can select those. Well, first off, 2 E GZ 0.075. Did it go anywhere? No. E Z 0.075. Okay, fine. Be that way. That's still set to that. That's good. And we could give it some thickness. I don't know if we need to bother, but it doesn't have that much. Let's give it a little thickness. I just like to make real looking things, and it's kind of occurs to me I want to make everything a hero building. And let's add this glass window frame to it. A U Q projection. And what do we got? If we look at it, yeah, it's a different building. Cool. Now, let's see, 22 minutes. We're doing good. Let's make a new one. Mesh cube. And let's see, SX. And GZ. Cool. And 2, 3, Shift S2. Object, set origin, the 3D cursor. Let's make sure it's there. This one should already be there, right? Yeah, at the base, at the base. This one, not at the base. This 2. Okay, object, set origin, 3D cursor. Now there. Okay. And I'm just going to give it the sci-fi standard again. And we're going to come back and just make it a bit more interesting. 3E and Control R and 3I. Yeah. Control A, rotation scale. I plus assign, and we want it to be window. Light to window non-alpha. And 2. Select all that. Control bevel. I like my beveled roofs. I think it's just kind of a cool way to do it. And I haven't done anything with random flow because I'm trying to keep the poly counts down a little bit, but maybe, let's see. Let's not select the backside. And tab, shift Q, random loop extrude. 1, cuts, 1, depth, that. Sure. Take it, Control J. Tab A, U, cube projection. Let's see what we got. I don't like this window here. It's not working right. Let's UV it. A scale, G scale. I'm gonna make it like this. There we go. That should be okay. Cool. Yeah, we got some windows. Let's do the same on this one. I don't like this how this one came out either. A, G. The green ones, the weird colored ones. Let's go with the green ones. Cool. I think we need a couple more. I'll do the same kind of thing I did with this one. Shift D, tab A. Cool. Tab. No, but yeah. Just 2. Object, set origin, 3D cursor. And now let's Alt X that way. Cool. And I and 2. That's right. E, G, Y. E, move 1.3. Shouldn't be. Did I not? No, I should be. Yeah. E, that. E, that. 3. This is again me being overly precise. Do as I say, not as I do. And apply. Let's see what it looks like. Cool. And is that enough to start with? We can always add more. Let's do at least one more. One more. I like these. Well, let's do a sphere. I don't have a sphere yet. Mesh, UV sphere. Scale. And yeah, tab. Shift A, cube. No. Shift S2, tab. Shift A, cube. GZ. Shift C. Okay. that. Cool. And 3. Select that one and that one. Alt-E, normals to bring them in. And then select that one and that one. Alt-E to bring them out. Just trying to create some interesting shapes. Okay. And then again, I'm going nuts when I shouldn't be. Tab, Shift S2, object, set origin, 3D cursor, material, classic sci-fi standard, tab, 1, 2, 3, plus assign window non-alpha. And if we go over to our UV, looking pretty good. G, and G, and sure, G. And come back to layout, and we look at it. Woohoo! I mean, from back here, right? They look like buildings. Okay, so let's turn our stuff back on. And there we go. Let's take our buildings and bring them back to the behind, just because that's our collection. And then let's see what we get if we start playing. Scatter. Our mission object is going to be that. We're going to select our buildings. And we're going to manual scatter, yes. As I've said before, I still have no idea what the differences between these are, so I always just kind of play with them. Scatter objects. What? Did it not scatter them? Where are they? That's strange. There should be buildings. Distribution. Don't have any. Surfaces set to that, yeah. Scale should be fine. Should be none of these things should matter. So why did I not get it? Did I not have something selected by accident? What's that? Oh, that's my whole camera. Weird. Okay. Let's do it again. Oh, it didn't select anything. Did I accidentally not have them selected? That could be. I'm sure it makes sense if you were watching me. Be like, Seth, you idiot, you didn't have them selected. Manual. Select objects. Okay, we got them selected. And we want to No. Scatter objects. Why are you being weird? What? Okay. Delete hierarchy. I'm going to turn this off so I don't have to see anything but that for right now. Okay. This is my landscape 2, which we're going to rename to platforms. Cool. Yes, that is what I want. We're not manually doing anything. Don't move it. Okay. B. We've got those selected. Scatter objects. Scatter. I don't understand. Why are you being weird? I've never had this happen before. They're not unselectable or anything, are they? No, they're selectable. Pattern. Let's just do a simple. Okay, there it is. So, oh, I bet you I know. Let's see. Control A, rotation scale, all of them. Okay. Now, scatter objects. This one hasn't had it. Control A, yes. Control A, rotation scale. Betcha that's it. Let's just double check, see if the landscape was done. No, it was not. That's it. Rotation and scale. Now, if we do it, scatter. Yes, no valid objects detected. Let's remove the system. Hide the landscape. Select our objects. And scatter objects. Okay, yes, see, I knew I was. All right, craziness. First off, count 1, even 1's too many, 0.25. 0.2. And actually, let's nuke it. Okay, we got it working again. That's what matters. Okay, tab. I want to select the normal for all of these. Cool. I don't want any of the bottom or any of the side. Right. Those have been selected. And now, add a vertex group, assign it. And it's going to be our top. We'll call it top. Tab. Now, let's turn back on stuff. Those buildings. How big is that building? It still should, that should be 6 meters, right? 6 meters, yes. Okay, so we're all right. Let's scatter again. And we'll do this one. And B, select our objects, and scatter objects. Okay, we're back to looking fugly again, but we're going to fix this. Culling masks. We're going to add a vertex group, top, and we're going to reverse it so it's only on the top now. Okay. And then we want to do, let's see, rotation. I do not want to align normal. I want to align vertical only, which is going to be a problem for us, but we'll fix it. I think. Yep. And we're going to, let's see, decrease our distribution down to about that. Maybe even one more. That. Okay. Cool. I know this is ugly still. We're definitely still in the ugly phase. Scale. I don't want them smaller. If anything else, I want them to be slightly bigger. 1.5. So they do have some variance. Yes. And then rotation here. I don't want any random rotation. I don't want any tilting. Actually, you know, might be a better way. Let's try this. This could be interesting. Let's just get rid of that entirely. We can always bring it back. And scatter, we'll remove our delete hierarchy. Select this thing again. We got those faces selected. Great. Now let's do Shift Q, random scatter, collection, buildings. Scale, size, minimum of 1, maximum of 2. Points, let's say 200. Let's see. Rotation mode strict. Z 270. Right. Using quotient tuple of given angle. So let's say given angle of 90. There we go. And now to rotate them all differently. Cool. I want them all vertical. Is there a way to do them vertically in this one? If not, I'll have to change that, which would suck because I like this option. Uniform? No, axis. I haven't ever used this before for this kind of thing. Let's see. And it would be neat if it wasn't angling them, if it wasn't following that bloody thing that I did, which I was so proud of, you know. Of course. Of course. And how do we get around that? Ooh, that could be neat. All right, let's do this again. I've got an idea. I've got an angle. Okay, select it. Just come to this thing. Let's duplicate it. Hide the original. Now, I select, just want, again, just the top. Select, let's invert it. I'm gonna delete all but the top on this one now this time. Faces, not vertices, faces. Now, if I select individual origins, yes. And SZ0. No, need to break them first. Can I do that? Can I split? No. Let's see. I'm just trying some stuff here. V, cannot rip selected faces, 2. V, cannot rip selected faces. Let's see. Okay. V, got it. Yes. 3. See if this will do it. It does help to. It's all one side. Never mind. I can just do this now. Oh, they're not selected anymore. 7. Piss off. B. I have a plan. I swear. SZ0. Individual origins. Oh. Let's go back. I'm going to do it right. Undo history. There we go. Go back to here. So the first thing I want to do is 2x dissolve edge. X dissolve edge. Okay, cool. Now, 3, select everything. 2. V. Now, 7. 3. Select those faces. Now, SZ0. They should be individual now, right? L. Yeah, they are individual. Edit mode. I'm on faces. This should work. Because this is how you do stairs too. SZ0. It's still not right. Let's see. SZ0. So it did that one. I'm on individual origins, right? Individual origins. Yes. SZ0. Everything's messing with me today. Why is everything messing with me today? It's that kind of day, huh? SZ0. There we go. I don't know why I didn't do it before, but okay, fine. Now, let's do the same thing for these. Dissolve edges. There's 2 of them, yeah. Select 2, deselect, 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 deselect. We're getting there, I promise. V, cut. Don't do whatever that just was, don't do it. Ripped, done. Okay. B. 3. Select them. SZ0. Good. Okay. Now, if we turn back on, and we turn this one back on too, I'm just gonna see, can we just take this whole thing, you bring it down just a bit. I could make it invisible, but I don't know that I need to do that if I can select that, solo, A, tab, Shift Q, random scatter, buildings. Oh yes. Oh, yes, 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 yes. That's cool. The only thing I want to do, and I should have done this before, is let's go back to our buildings on Solo. Let's come here. And we're just going to see what happens. Can we edit it? I think we can. IGZ, IGZ, IE. And does it fix it here? Or do I need to do it again? I can't. I haven't found that building yet. We can do it again if we need to. Tab here, E, scale 2, Control R, Control bevel, and let's go out. Tab. Let's see. I need to redo it, but we can. That's cool. I'm just going to fix these. I'm just adding something below their origin points so that they can maybe stick out the bottom a bit, which is fine. I think it'll look cool. 3, inset, E, scale, and we want to select that. U, cube projection again on those, but not the window. Here, tab, same thing. I, E, scale. Control, not that. Control R. Yep. Bevel. I'm wasting a lot of time, I know, but I'm sorry. Let's see. Insert them individually and bring it out, and then select that one again and U cube projection. Okay, and then over here, this one was like super simple. Face, poke face, 1 Q circle, 3E scale. Cool. Select U cube projection. Now, come back, grab our platform 2, which is the angled one. Shift Q, random scatter, buildings. Yes, and now they extend below, and we're actually getting something finally cool there. Okay. So what I've got now is buildings, and they are rotating out. Some of them are sticking out. I like that. We've got some open areas we can play with, which we will need to, because we're going to need to actually make some non-procedural things here now in the next little while that will kind of work for this. And I think for this one, yeah, well, we'll see. Okay, let's bring our boats back. 4. Okay, and I'm feeling all right about that. Okay, cool. Interesting. I don't know why I did that there, but that's cool. And we can actually come, the neat thing with doing it this way too is this is geometry, so we can come through and edit these buildings on top of just the the scatter. So like they're not the original vertices anymore. Let's take this to here, 7, and E, G, Y. No. No. Little Z. Do it again. Dot. Come here. Come here, you little one. E. Cool. 7. And then I. E. Bring it out like that. And now I'm looking at our boats to kind of get a scale idea. Because we can put this here. Okay, and that's looks about the right size for a pier, dock, whatever you want to call it, of some kind. Let's build a couple more of those. And I'm just gonna solo just this object just so I can see it easier. Tab and 3, 7. Not this one. E. I. E. They don't have to be the same either. So that's this cool thing too. Like we can go I and then E, extend this one out further like that. So maybe this one, if I were just going to lay ships out, has this one here and this one here. Something like that. Let's build at least 2 or 3 more. And we can also do some on different levels, which is the neat thing of hover vehicles, is they don't have to be. I don't want to go too far, too close to the edge, though. I want to keep them near the middle. So I think one right here is a good place, too. Let's make this one a smaller one. E. I. E. Okay. Like, yeah, baby, yeah. Okay. Then we can do, let's do one. Do we do one further up? Dare we? I think we do, but I think we're going to do it a little differently. Let's build a building right here. Shift A, mesh, cube, scale it. I don't know why I get Australian every once in a while. We're going to scale it. Okay, put it there. GZ. Okay. Now, Control R. And we'll bring that edge loop back down to, yeah, about there. Control bevel. Give that. 7E. So it's going to have like a thing up here like that. Cool. 3I GZ GY. So it goes in. I think it's important too that we have some things that are not always repeats of others. So this is helpful for that. Now let's see. A couple ways we could do this, but let's use Grid Modeler. 7.9, solo it. And we're just going to grid model. Five, 3. I love Grid Modeler. E, bring that down. And then let's take here. This time we can just do an inset. And E, and then GZ. And we've got some support looking things. And that helps break us up the outline. Cool. I like that. Man, and the thing with this is you can probably tell, like I could literally spend all day building this thing now. So we're going to have to E. Does it not have a material? That's a problem if it did not keep the materials. All right, well, that is a problem. It should have, but all right, fine. We're going to be a little bit more abstract than I was going to be, but that's cool. Classic Sci-fi standard. Oh, get off of Eevee. I don't really need the windows anyway. I don't need the windows. Yeah, sure. No, that's cool. Dude, like that's actually really sweet looking. And particularly if we then take, because we can grab just this and put a couple with windows in here. GZ. And we can also place them differently, which will kind of be neat too. So just bring these back over. Go back to grayscale. So I hope this is helpful to people. I mean, one of the things that I wanted to say just to remind people is I hope you can see that like I I don't have the answers when I start building these things. I feel like I see a lot of people either pretend that like, oh, I knew what I was going to do before I started, and half the time they've just faked it and made it before already, or just saying, I don't know, that because I'm good, I don't need to worry about this stuff. I mean, I feel like I'm reasonably okay at this. I wouldn't say I'm great, but I'm not bad. But this is an exploration process, and I feel like concept art should often be an exploration. That if you know where you're going before you start and how exactly to get there, it's probably going to be boring. Like, I worry about people who don't solve problems and don't need to solve problems when they are doing this process. Let's scale that up because this is a job that requires problem solving. And that's what gives you something unique at the end because you didn't know where you were going when you started. And there's a mystique, and a lot of people think that like, oh, well, pros just don't have problems and they don't fight these things, and their software works. Dude, my software, as you have hopefully seen, yeah, my software don't work like half the freaking time. It's a nightmare, and that's okay. I get preachy, I'm sorry, but it's just something I feel pretty strongly about because I'm just gonna move this one over here too. And just have it built it directly into the cliff like that. Yeah, it's not trivial. And if someone tells you it's trivial, they are lying to you. Um, or they're doing their craft a disservice. I'll go ahead and say it. Ouch your ears? I don't know. Is that in regard to my comment, or did I miss it earlier? Magically fictitious. Um, am I saying bad things? Okay, cool. And let's see. Cute, cute. Give it to this one too. Oh yeah. Oh, I like that. I think that's looking good. Oh, I coughed loudly in the mic. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my sinuses are hell, and I don't live on the East Coast, but even in Vancouver, there is smoke in the air, so it's brutal. And feels like the rest of the time I don't talk that loud. I've got my mic set for sort of my general voice, so yeah, it happens. Apologies. Okay, now how are we doing? We might want a couple more hero buildings. We might want to tweak. Um, yeah, I'm going to add another pier here. It's going to make it a short one though. E. Noob, yeah, well, whatever. You get what you pay for. Just create some of these ramps here. Figured a civilization that mostly works in the water and has cliff built things like this, there'd probably be a fair number of these kind of Control R, yeah. I'm just gonna throw them out there like that. Yeah, cool. And we'll do the same thing here that we did kind of before. I, E, E, GC. I like having supports like that because they help, again, break up the silhouette just a bit. And that one I didn't, the last time I did an I, that's a problem. In, down, cool. Yeah, that's looking neat. I like those. E. Making each one a little different too, which is intentional. Because I want them to feel like there's not necessarily a central planner to this thing. Cool. Save. It's been a while. Okay. Now let's come back to here. Let's solo just my object so I can see it. Getting complicated. Yep. Let's here, and I'm gonna just do just that edge loop. I don't want to stick it out any further. There. 3 I. This one's just gonna come straight down, I think. Same with here. Let's add a couple to this one though, and to this one too. And 3. No, shift, 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 shift. I, E, G, Z. Okay, yep. Neat. Oh, I like that. That looks cool. Might want to add another one to this one too, actually. I think that was neat. Yeah. 3 I, E. And then this one needs some. I think we're getting somewhere. Skipping 2. I, E. Okay. Yeah, those look good. We need to get a material soon, but I think that's cool. Let's take this, tab A, U, cube projection. Now let's give it a material, because I haven't done it yet. I made me one yesterday that is vastly overkill for this, that is a shore material. You won't even see it, I think, because the sand will be too low, but we'll use it just because. I mean, because I kind of want to see how it looks too. Just thinking. It's kind of a chunky material. There we go. Yeah, you don't even see too much of it. But if you come down to the bottom, underneath the water, which we can't see yet, that's looking neat. I really think that's kind of cool. I have to admit, this was not my favorite of the options when it was suggested to me. I was kind of like, oh, a cliff. All right, fine. You know, why not? But I think it's cool. I think it's kind of neat. This will be another one that's just a single down. Let's see, can we just take our X, rotate it? Yeah, and then now this one, let's double I, E, G, Y. Angled, which is kind of a weird thing to have for a dock, but whatever. We could unangle it, I suppose, but I think we need a couple more unique Uniqlo buildings. And we need maybe a hero building of some kind more than just that. Ooh, but we can take, ooh, because these are all selectable now. We can select those and this and this. Oh, that won't work. Tab, Shift Q, random loop extrude. And loop from source turned off. I have to admit, I really like having actual geo to play with versus the scatter. Like scatter is way more efficient, but being able to come in here afterward and just go, oh, I want to change that one building, like that's super cool. So I can come to this one now, and I can just go select those faces and assign it, and it should work to that window material. And I believe since the UV was correct before, it should just work. I mean, how cool is that? I think it's very cool. A couple things that intersect, that break the levels. Right now, everything is very layered, so we don't have a lot of things that go vertically between layers. So something like this, extrude 1, 2, F9, cuts 1. Again, just for interest. Okay. And gonna take this building, I think, and bring it all the way up even to here, and bring it out. And we're going to select those, add, sure, add, Shift Q, lip extrude, 1. I think we often need more than one, but oh yes, I find that very helpful. And good morning, Butterbee. Good to see you. I contemplated the Gandalf. What do you mean, good morning? But, you know, I'll leave it. Q, random loop extrude. Yes. We're going to need to come back into texturing soon. Something this big, it's hard to get done in 90 minutes, to be honest. Particularly given that I had some hiccups in the beginning. But all right, tab. I'm gonna select. Just gonna do. Let's see, 1 Alt Z B. Okay, cool. Shift Q, random loop extrude. I am really leaning hard on this today. Subdiv. I think that's fine. We don't have a lot of faces yet. We're doing all right. Let's save. It's been a while. I keep saying that. I'm like, let's save. It's been a while. Yeah, it has though. All righty. Come here. Yeah, sure. E. Scale. 1. And we'll put 2. Yeah. You know, I think this might be what we need for right now. Let's see if we can take the last 15 minutes or so and just make sure everything has a texture and get an overall sense of what it's going to look like. I think my finals may end up taking a little longer. Oh, I don't want that. Why do you do this to me? Than regular. I'm gonna this morning go up to a park on the water and do some 3D scanning of some concrete stuff because and it's not super hot and it's supposed to rain in the afternoon, so good time to go in the morning. So I might finish up this in the afternoon and get it up later on, but I think we'll get there. I mean, I know we'll get there, but grunge concrete, I don't mind if I do. Tab A U, not I, U, cube projection. Cool. Yeah, we gotta do the same for, just join it. Select it that way. Okay, right. Yes. And looks like we got some, looks like the other windows came through. I don't know why it's saying they didn't before. Weird. They did. Everything's lit up, glowing. Looks right. What the hell? I want to try something. Tab. Yep. We're selected just that side. Yep. Okay. I want to, I'm going to close this so I can see everything. Shift Q, random scatter, cube. I don't want them that big. Scale max, scale min, max of 0.1 as well. Cool. Location mode is free. Scale mode on axis is fine. I'm just going to pick different ones so they're not the same. And then that's this, right? Yes. I want to select lights. Let's go with a warm Add material, see what we get. I think, will we be able to see them? There are a couple lights there. Let's do it again with the same thing basically, but we'll just give it some more lights with a different axis and probably a different color. Yeah, so now it's this one, and we'll make it red because red just shows up good. And yeah, and we got some cool lights floating there off on the, kind of neat. And I think I'm gonna do the same thing on this. A, tab, Shift Q, random scatter. Yeah, 200 as well. Sure, why not? And for one scatter, and we'll make it also, we'll go with cool on this one. No, no, not that. No. This one. Yeah, this is the one we want. I got some just bullshit lights just kind of around, but I think that that's going to work. Save. And water. Let's go with spawn material, water. Go with ocean on this one, maybe. See how we feel about it. Ocean's awful blue. This should also be part of that. Join it. Yep. Ocean might be a little too blue. Lake. Let's try lake. It's basically the same blue. Control A, rotation scale. Okay. Ooh, yeah. There we go. Got our water thing going on now. So I don't have a ton of ships here yet. I mean, I only made 4, but let's dupe a couple. I think we can do this and it'll be all right. Particularly since if we instance them. So let's instance that there. And there. And rotate it just slightly and rotate it just slightly. And where did the other ship go? There was one other ship. 1, 2, 3. Where's 4? Skiff is here. I brought the boat in. Yeah. Did I delete it accidentally? Or no, there it is. It's back here. There you are. Let's bring him here. And just for grins and giggles, actually, 3. Let's bring him here, because these things can go pretty much anywhere. There's no reason it has to be on the lower level one. Put it up there. Or not. Why am I seeing it transparent? That's very bizarre. Oh, yeah, that should not be water. That material should not be water. It should be grunge concrete, which is called what? Should be called grunge concrete. Dirty concrete. Grunge gauge, like grunge concrete UV. There we go. That's better. Okay. So we got here. Now let's just bring him to there. and I'll duplicate it and put it here. And I'll duplicate it and we'll bring it up to one of these. It doesn't need to be on the pier. We'll put it over on this side since the cockpit's over there. That's that weird angled one. We'll just pretend it's not. Actually, you know what we're going to do? V3 SZ0. There we go. Little wonky, don't care. Okay. Alrighty. And then maybe we want one more of this one. What is it floating beside it? Is it some weird part that didn't... something weird happened on this one. Okay. L, X, vertices. Something happened when I merged it. It got weird, but it's fine for this. It's from the original. I even recognize this piece, but come on. You're thinking. Please don't be crashing. Just be thinking. Ah, yes. There we go. L, X, vertices. They should be gone for both of them because it was instanced. As soon as it finishes thinking. This was by far the chunkiest of all the vessels anyway. It had all this weird stuff that I threw on there before. So I'm supposed to keep up some kind of interesting pattern while this is going on, but I got nothing. Bring it in. There's another one, another weird thing there. It's still floating, but I think for the purposes of here, I'm not going to stress about it. And bring this GZ down. Okay, let's find ourselves a camera angle. Yes. First thing we need to do is extend the clip end to like 600 meters. That gives us everything. That's more than we need, but. And camera, Arial Alexa 65 with a Cooke anamorphic lens at 239 widescreen. And we'll go from a 50 to like a 35. Come down close to the water just so it seems whatever. Come a bit more this way because this is the more interesting side of town and we can show more of the water too. And then we're going to take that and dupe it, GY, GZ, RZ 165, RZ 165. Okay. Cool. And we're going to go pick a sky in our last 5 seconds. No, we'll go a little lower. Okay. Sea view. And let's we want to pick? Something we get a lot of good water. I'm kind of leaning towards this one or this one. Let's try Blue Lagoon, see what we get. Which I realized was neither of those other two, but you know, okay. Okay. I mean, cool. Feels all right. Let's bring it down. It always makes it really bright. That's looking okay. We could even go darker. Let's see. If we take it to like, what does it look like if it's real dark? Like that's like dusk. Can we go a bit up from dusk? Should be all right. And maybe we bring this guy out a little bit so you can kind of see that he's ship, and maybe up a little bit. I feel like we need something over here as well. We'll grab our patrol boat, duplicate it, GY, GZ, GX, RZ180, stay in the field, RZ180, go away, here, RZ180, there we go, GY, just gonna try, that'd be too much. Trying to figure out where we want it, where we can read it as separate. I think that's cool. Okay. And I think we might want some fog. Excuse me. Just to help break our forms up a little bit. So let's take our water object, duplicate it, bring it up, kill that. And then just... You don't want it to have it intersect with the water. It does weird things because they both will have volumetrics on it. So you want to have a little clearance above the water, but not a lot because then it looks weird. That should be okay. New fog. And if we go over to shading, and it thinks for a minute because we're getting to be chunky. It's two things. As far as I can tell, the polygons, which are not that high, but they're there, and the fact that you're getting into a larger scale, so it's having to cast the rays further and further and further. And there's stuff out there intersecting with them too, makes it slow down a bit. We're going to create our volume scatter node, the poor man's cheap fog, and volume density 0.02. 5. Let's see. Whew. I mean, damn, that's cool looking. It might be a little much, but alrighty. 0.01. Let's cut our fog in half and see if it still works. Yes, it still does. Let me even go back up to... I just like it dense. Like that just looks cool. All righty. And none of our boats have crews, but I don't think you can really see from the angle, so we're not going to worry about it. Um, Folks, I think this one's good. I'm going to end our stream because we're over 90 minutes anyway. And I will finish it up today. Like I said, I got to run up to the Barnett Marine Park to go grab some concrete stuff. I went walking there yesterday afternoon when it was bright there to use, and I just want to scan some. And then I'll be back, and then I will get this finalized and up on Instagram and Mastodon by the afternoon. I really appreciate Magically Fictitious and Butterbee stopping by to say hey, or maybe there are more of you, but they said hey. I hope there are more of you. If you're watching this later, also cool. Please like and subscribe. I do these every Monday to Friday at 7:30 in the morning Pacific time. Start my day off with a stream. And yeah, thanks again. And I will be back on Monday. Okay, folks, have a good one. Bye bye.